Okay, so many of you have probably reached LLM apps after reading or listening or talking with people about artificial intelligence, machine learning, natural language processing, large language models, and probably some of you wonder if you need to study all these things in order to be able to create LLM apps. The answer is no. The only goal of this chapter is to let you know, the basic relationships between artificial intelligence, machine learning, and LLM applications. But to make you understand, most of all, to make you understand that you don't need to study machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, artificial intelligence in order to create an LLM application. The methodology we use to create an LLM application is totally unique and specific for these kinds of applications. Remember, when in a previous chapter we explained what is an LLM app, we told you that you can think of an engine, like the combustion engine. Remember that? So the invention of the combustion engine, it gave place to many other inventions on top of that. So you use a combustion engine to build a car or a truck or a boat or a industrial machinery or whatever, right? But if you are a car builder, you don't need to understand how to build a combustion engine. You just buy the combustion engine from another factory, and then you build your car on top of it. Okay, so with LLM applications, we are in a similar situation. We are using a lot of knowledge and some tools that are already developed for us, but we don't need to understand how to build all these tools, right? So when you listen about artificial intelligence, machine learning, NLP, LLMs, etc., don't worry, don't get anxious, just relax, because what you are going to do to create LLM applications is very straightforward, has nothing to do with all that in practice, and what you are going to learn is totally different from all these other disciplines. The only thing you need to know, you don't really need to know this, but in order to have, just basic knowledge, you may know that artificial intelligence is a discipline that is older than it seems and that has exploded with ChatGPT. Just think of artificial intelligence like that. It's something that has been studied, for many years at the universities, but it has only been after the launch of ChatGPT when we realize, when we see that this is something we can use for many different applications in the business environment, in the daily lives, etc. Right? So, okay. Second thing, machine learning. Machine learning is the most promising area of artificial intelligence. In short, machine learning is a different way to communicate with computers. So in the traditional programming way, we give the computer some instructions. First do this, second do that, third blah, blah, blah. This is the traditional way of programming. Machine learning is a different way of programming. And in short, machine learning shows test data and test results to the computer. And then what machine learning does is, starting from this test data and results, the machine realizes how to calculate the intermediate process and allow us to predict outcomes with new data. Okay, so we give the computer a small number of inputs and outputs, and we ask the computer, now you realize what you need to do in order to go from that inputs to that outputs. And when you realize that, we will use your model in order to make predictions with new input data. Okay? So this is machine learning. Deep learning is the same thing. The only difference between machine learning and deep learning is the amount of data they use. Machine learning uses like thousands of data, and deep learning uses millions of data. In order to handle this huge amount of data, deep learning is using a more sophisticated approach called neural networks and a more sophisticated computers that uses what we call GPUs, graphic processing units. Don't worry about that. This is something that is not useful for us in our process. This is just general knowledge for you. The last thing, when we apply machine learning to text instead of numbers, we start using what is called natural language processing. This is just machine learning applied to text. And when you use it with huge amounts of text, you have the large language models like ChatGPT. Okay, so just to let you know, yes, there is a connection between LLM applications and artificial intelligence, machine learning, NLP, etc., but it's not relevant for us in these courses and in these bootcamps. Okay, it's there, but it's not relevant for us, and you don't need to learn machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, artificial intelligence in order to develop amazing LLM applications, okay?